everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Katarina. Today's video is going to be another part for my inventory series. So today I'm going to share with you my bronzer and contouring products inventory and collection. So I'm going to talk about the number I have of these products, and also I want to talk to you a little bit about goals, what I would like to have. Actually, I really don't have any specific goals what comes to bronzers or contouring products, but the only thing I know is that I don't want to have too much, and actually I don't have that much. Usually if I find something I really like, I want to stick to it, and I really don't need that much of options. And let's be real, what comes to bronzers, there is not that much variety what comes to blushes or highlighters, for example. So I really don't want to have that much. And another thing is that I really like my bronzers and contouring products to be in pressed powder formula. I actually have had once the NYX Wonder Stick, and now that I know that it's vegan, I'm planning to get it again because that one is a good product in my opinion, and if I have a cream contour product, one stick is enough for me instead of palette. So let's go through my collection, and first I want to mention a couple of bronzers that are in multitasking palettes. So I do have one in this Balm Voyage 2 palette and one in this Pacifica Solar palette. Actually from this palette I am wearing today this bronzer and also this blush, but I am wearing this bronzer today for the first time, and I must say that I really do like it. I think it looks so nice. It has a nice sheen in it. It's not like completely matte, but it's not glittery at all. It's very beautiful. This kind of palettes I do store with my eyeshadow palettes, so I really don't see myself reaching for this any other time than when I reach for these eyeshadows, or if I'm reaching for this blush, I might reach for this bronzer. So that's why I really don't count it to be part of my actual bronzer or contouring products collection. Another bronzer that is in multitasking palette is in this theBalm Voyage 2 palette, and it is the bronzer here. It's very similar to the Balm Mahama Mama, and I do have that one in single, but this is something I always travel with, and when I do travel, this is what I'm contouring with because it's the shade that always works for me. Then I want to talk to you about contouring kits or palettes. So I do have two. I do have the ABH Contour Kit, and I do have this Wet n Wild MegaGlo contouring palette. And first I'm going to talk to you about this ABH contouring kit. As you can see, I have gotten quite much use out of it, but the more I use it, the more I hate it, really. And this is a lesson for myself, this palette, that I never again want to buy contour kit or contour palette where there is a lot of options, because this was very expensive. When I bought this, ABH was quite new brand in Finland, and it was so overpriced. I think I paid 68 euros for this palette, and in dollars 68 is at least $80. I think in US this palette retails for $40, so I paid double. And is it worth that much? No way, in my opinion. Yes, it does have some shades I can use. It also does have some shades I really don't like. As you can see, I really haven't been reaching for this highlight shade here. And then there is this warm bronzer shade Havana that I haven't been using because it's maybe a little bit too warm for my skin tone. I have used from here the shade Vanilla because I did set my eyeshadow primer with it. And I have also done the same thing now with the shade Banana. It works to set my eyeshadow primer if I do have some tan on, otherwise it's too deep and too yellow. I have used up the shade Fawn, or actually I did break it so that I just tossed the rest of it, but I did get a lot use out of it, but it was not like my favorite shade ever to contour with. And this shade Java I'm now having in my project pan, and I am contouring my chin with it, but in my face this is way too cool, way too deep, and way too plum toned. I have really learned my lesson that I never again want to buy this kind of contouring kits. Part of me just wants to toss this and forget about it, but then part of me is that this was so expensive that I'm going to get as much use out of it as I possibly can. And that's what I'm doing right now. I really try to finish this one up, but it's difficult. I must say that the quality of these shades is nice. They are really tightly packed, so it really takes a long time to use them up. and to even hit pan. So that's a good thing, and I think they are very blendable. There is nothing wrong with the formula, but just the shades, none of the shades was really my favorite. Like my favorite shade was the shade Vanilla, that I could just buy some pressed powder to be similar color and set my eye primer with that one. But then another contouring palette I do have is this Wet n Wild MegaGlo contouring palette. And this one I actually do really like because there is only 2 shades. I have hit pan on this light shade that is meant to be highlight shade, but also I have set my eyeshadow primer with it, and sometimes I go over my under eye with that one, but not really that often. But I haven't been reaching for this contour shade that much because I have been focusing onto the ABH Contour Kit, and I do have some other contouring or bronzer shades in my collection. It's nice to contour with. Maybe it's little bit on the warmer side. It is not like the most cool toned ever. I think my skin is like, it's sometimes hard to see, but it is like neutral to yellow undertones, but because it is so light, it can be a little bit difficult to see. But I think this is nice contouring shade for me. I still need to get some more use out of it, but overall I do really like this. Both of the shades work for me, and I must say that this is so good quality. This is definitely more powdery than the ABH one, so you will hit the pan more faster, you will use it up faster, but it's so cheap. It's something like €5 or $5 depending where you live. Anyways, really affordable, but it's so smooth, so blendable, so seamless product. And I do have my bronzers left, and I do have only 3 bronzers, and from those 3 bronzers, 2 are matte and 1 is, it's not like completely matte, but almost matte. I don't have any shimmery bronzers. I would like to have one bronzer that has a beautiful shimmery sheen in it, but not glitter. One bronzer I have been craving for years now is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer, but that one is so expensive that maybe someday. Another bronzer I have been thinking, and I might even get when I get to Sephora next month, is the Too Faced Sweet Tea Sweetheart bronzer. The bronzer in heart-shaped box. That bronzer looks beautiful, but I must say that I'm not a fan of that box. I think it looks bulky, but the bronzer itself looks beautiful, so maybe I will get that. Anyways, let's go through these bronzers that I do have here in my collection, and let's start from the one that has some sheen in it. So this one is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is very popular bronzer, so you probably have at least seen what this looks like. So it is this light bronzer. It has a slightest bit of sheen in it, and I think it looks beautiful. It is a nice bronzer when you put it on your face. However, I do not like the packaging of this. It is so ugly. It is like a toy from the 90s that I have played with. It's just so bulky, so ugly, and it's broken. This lid part of mine has broken. I really don't like the smell either, so this has a strong scent in it. I don't hate the scent, but I don't like it. So yeah, it's nice bronzer. Maybe I would say it's a little bit overhyped. I do have only 2 bronzers left. These are my holy grail. You can take out all of my other bronzers and contouring products, and if I did have only these 2 for the rest of my life, I would be completely happy. Well, maybe I would like to get the one bronzer that is more shimmery, like the Hourglass bronzer or the Too Faced bronzer, but these 2 are my holy grails. And the first is the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder. I love this bronzer, it is so good. First, it is huge. As you can see, I have hit pan on it. This looks very warm when you look at it, but it's not actually at all orangey. It is just a beautiful warmth in your face. Paulina Beauty has actually recently talked a lot about this bronzer, and I'm so happy because not that many people talk that much about this bronzer. This is so smooth, so blendable. The only thing I really have to complain about this is the lid. Essence has the crappiest packaging ever. The lids always break, but honestly, this product is so cheap. I paid maybe €4 of it, so it's so affordable. It's so beautiful on my skin. And one thing what comes to bronzers is that I do have very light skin tone, as you maybe see. I have gotten some tan now, and I'm actually like quite decently tanned. I am fairly light, So this bronzer is something that really works for me even when I am at my palest. I love this bronzer and I'm definitely going to repurchase it, and I'm glad that this is for sure one of Essence vegan products. So I know that Essence doesn't label their vegan products in their EU website, but in their US website they do, and this is labeled vegan there, so I'm so happy about that. And then I do have left my holy grail bronzer of all times. Actually, I mentioned this bronzer in the if I could keep only one tag. So this bronzer is something that if I could keep only one bronzer, I would keep this. It's a matte, so I can contour with it, and I think if I use it lightly enough, I can make it work when I am at my palest, but also I can create a nice bronzy look with it when I do have some tan. So this is the Balm Mahama Mama bronzer. This is so good. I mean, it's this perfect matte bronzer. It is quite cool toned, but it's not like grayish. And what's really important to me is that it doesn't have any weird red or plum undertones, like that Java said from the ABH Contour Kit has. Or another bronzer that has some really weird undertones is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer, yeah, the medium one. I did have a sample size of that and it's just not good for my skin tone. It's so weird undertones in it. But this one, because it is cool toned, but it's not at all reddish or plummy, it's so good for my face to contour with. I absolutely love this bronzer. It's my favorite. As you can see, I have a pan on it. That was all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did like it, please put thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments what is your holy grail contouring product or your holy grail bronzer. Do you have any that you would recommend to me? And yeah, that's all. Thank you so much and see you in my next video. Bye bye.